Geomorphology is one subtopic of geography that falls under physical geography. Now, incidentally, geography is actually pronounced into two different categories. One of them is physical geography, the second is human geography. Physical geography comprises geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography. While human geography comprises population geography, settlement geography, economic geography, models and theories, and so on. Now, these are the four components that are given to you in your civil services syllabus. There may be other components as well as physical geography and human geography as well, but then they are not evident and they are not explained in this case, or they are not included here at all. Geomorphology is completely different. It is considered to be synonymous with being geography, and this is what the students feel as well. Now, feeling is different from logic. It is not logic at all. The real subject of geography lies in settlement geography. Settlement geography is true geography. It is the geography. It's not the. It's not that it is going to be part of human geography, but then it comprises almost everything. That is the identity of geography. Geomorphology is not identity of geography, largely because geomorphology has been derived from geology. So let's begin from here onwards. Geomorphology has been derived from general geology. And one of these components of general geology is geomorphology. Geographers have somehow snatched it and made it their own. Of course, having made it their own, they try to specialize it in different ways possible. So geologists have also abundant. Okay, take it away. No issues at all. This is a subject that will keep on flourishing and it will continue to remain our subject. And that is one aspect associated with geomorphology. The second is from a civil services point of view, geomorphology is a very, very comprehensive. It's the most comprehensive section in the whole of the syllabus. This is largely because it has a number of topics and then there are going to be appendages and appendages. That means there can be classifications and classifications of geography. There can be many sub-branchings of geography as well. The third will be that geomorphology is going to be very imaginative. Imaginative in the sense because for everything in geomorphology, you have to imagine. And it's only when you have imagined it that you think of implementing it. Without imagination, there is no way that implementation can be done at all. So once you have imagined it, only then you can explain it. So it is imagination based. The fourth is that it's very, very, very factual. Largely because in the study of whole of geomorphology, you will have to study no less than something like some 1,000 different type of terminologies. It is with the help of these terminologies that you will be able to explain a lot of things. For example, maybe that in general language you're going to call as a breakdown of the rocks. But in the geomorphological parlance, it will be called by the name of denudation, weathering. Maybe sometimes you're going to say that the continents going to collide. You'll have to say that plates undergo tectonics. That is the language. So every subject has a language, and geography in this case has a language too. Geomorphology has a language. Now the next part is geomorphology is diagrammatic. Consequently, the students are expected to draw a lot of diagrams in the examination. So this is easy, this is difficult. Easy because when you go on to draw a diagram, it gives a very good visual picture. That is, the subject is so good. But disadvantage in this case is that it's not a visual picture. That is, if you draw a wrong diagram, then you are going to be penalized as well. The fifth is geomorphology is pretty marks scoring, provided you write it correctly, provided you write in a correct manner. But then, if you do not go on to do it, it is equally mark snatching as well. It's mark losing as well at the same time. Then, geomorphology is something which will go on to help you understand every other part of environmental geography, soil, biogeography. This is largely because soil formation is dependent on geomorphology and so on and so forth. Even plant growth, whether the soils are going to be acidic or not, is going to be dependent again on geography and geomorphology rather. Then, from a student perspective, geomorphology offers three distinct advantages. The first is that once you've understood the topic and known how to draw diagrams, it is very easy, very mark switching. Second is, once you have mastered it, you will enjoy the subject. The third is that once you have known the subject, then there is no way that you can going to forget it so easily because it's concept based, it's driven into it's going to be woven into each other. The disadvantage in this case is going to be associated with the amount of effort that one is required to do in trying to master geomorphology. That is, it is the second most difficult section after perspective because perspective requires a huge amount of an effort, largely because it doesn't go on to suit the psyche of good number of students. A student who is not from geography cannot go on to handle this part at all. So that's the way it is going to be in general. That's going to be number one. Second disadvantage is that in geomorphology there can be lot of appendages. So at any point of a time UPSC decides that it will go on to break the traditional part and start asking questions that are geomorphology and settlement, geomorphology and climate, geomorphology and economy, geomorphology and planning. Then the students will be in a soup, largely because such type of interrelationship is generally not developed with the students. And lastly, that is, once you have studied geomorphology, then this study of geomorphology doesn't always mean that you have to remember it every time. You keep on revising it. This is largely because of the amount of terminologies you have. Because in any chapter, there is no less than 20 to 30 different type of terminologies that will definitely be new. Minimal number of these type of terminologies. Now, the questions that have been asked in geomorphology, they have been not exactly consistent. I mean, sometimes they have been very high, sometimes low of sorts. And after during the last phases of sorts, of course, we do not going to say that there is anything called as a trend in geography. What we're going to say is that there is a such type of a way in which the questions are going to be asked doesn't go on to be reflecting anything like a current mindset, and consequently, they can be from anywhere. For example, the basic difference is that in climatology, you can understand if there had been something like a rainbow arrow, that is something like a moisture arrow or a moisture stream in the upper atmosphere, then you know that there can be a question that can be possibly asked. If there had been a lot of rain, say tropical cyclones, But then a lot of events associated with geomorphology do not go on to occur in a day-to-day life. It is, of course, earthquakes don't go to take place every day and everywhere. That can be converted into type of a question, as it is going to be in climatology, maybe sometimes in oceanography as well, or most of the times in biogeography and environmental geography. That is the nature of the subject.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.